and welcome to my channel, Loving Handcrafts by B&W. This is Brenda. So today I have something different. I'm going to show you how I made this particular card using some dies. Now, the last couple of weeks I've been using my Cricut, but I decided to show you this card, and I was inspired by a card I saw on scrapbook.com. So I'm just going to show you what I purchased. So I did purchase these dies. Uh, let's see. So this is the slimline die that I used, and this is the particular die that I used. So it's pretty long. I've not made a slimline card before, but I liked how they used the die to make this A2 size card. Oh, you know what? I just realized my mat was upside down. Let me change that so you get to see the ugly mat underneath. There we go. So yeah, this is a A2 size card. That's the die that I used to cut this out. Isn't that lovely? It's very lacy die. So that's that tone on tone background you can see here. So I'm going to show you how I put that together. And I used, I have two manual die cutting machines. I have the Platinum 6. I'm not going to run through that today. And I have the Empress by Anna Griffith, which is an electric die. One is a crank, so you crank one, so that's the Platinum 6. And then the other one is an electric die, and you just feed the plates through, if you're familiar with the dies. Okay, so how I created the butterfly, and I forgot, I threw away the packaging. I've got to be better. Got to do better, but in any case, this is one butterfly. And so basically it's two dies, so it's the butterfly and then the outline of the butterfly. I'm trying to think. Offset layer, like the offset layer. So that's these three. So I went butterfly crazy happy. So when I first got this, and I got this about last week, maybe. So that's the butterflies. So let me show you what that looks like, and we're going to actually glue some of these together. And again, this is from scrapbook.com, and in the description I will include the actual where you can get these dies. So that's the one. Isn't that pretty? And so I also use some 6x6 paper pad to do this. This is the holographic paper pad. And so this is when I cut it out. This is how it came out. So I haven't weeded this yet. Thought I'd wait and weed that. And then these are the three different butterflies. So I just picked some pretty like springy color. And so I do believe this is shimmer cardstock. So I have this in my stash from my local craft store. I think all of them are the shimmer cardstock to kind of compete with that. Then finally, let me go grab this die. Where'd it go? Whoopsie. Okay, apologies. This is the other die to make the happy birthday. I got this from Spellbinders. So it's a hot foil, and I have a hot foil plate that goes with my Spellbinder. So it was the hot foil plate and the coordinating die. So that made this, and I used some silver foil, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Yeah, here it is. So that's the happy birthday. It came out really good. I had to do a little, I'm still learning how to foil, but sometimes I can get them really good. And I had a little bit of over foiling here, but I cleaned this up as well. So that's going to go for that. Okay, that's that. I'm going to put that to the side. So that's basically the construction of the card. And again, I'll have all of the items that I used in the description box. I need to get a weeding tool. I'll grab these two. All right. So let me weed these butterflies first. So I'm just poking out the bits that shouldn't be there. And believe it or not, I have another set already done, so I'm not gonna uh, bore you with this. But isn't this lovely? Oh, I was supposed to grab the paper that I used. So let me, when I finish poking out the bits, I should have ran this through twice. This would have made it a little bit easier. So with the die, you just get rid of the bits and bobs you don't need. And I don't know if you can really see how beautiful that is and how much detail in that fine die. It's a really nice die set. It's really, really nice. And of course, I'm always thinking, how can I make a shaker card out of something? So I'll figure it out. I love shaker cards. It's like my obsession. I'm looking at, I could turn that into a shaker. So that's the idea with weeding the individual butterflies. So just take out those. You just, be a little patient with it, and the results are worth it. So whoever is the recipient of this card is going to be like, that is so cool. How did you do that? Well, when you watch the video, you'll see how I did it. Not all the steps, but the most part, the assembly part. How about that? So let me just double do a little spot check. Make sure I got all the pieces out. So as you can see, now it's fully weeded. And that's so a darling. Let me move you off to the side. So move that out there. And so I'm not going to do these. I'm going to move them off my work surface and kind of clean up that. So I have some that's already done. So that's that one. I'm not sure. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. So these are the ones I was going to use. I'm trying to use some different colors. So what happened is I just adhered the butterfly to the offset layer or the outline, and I just glued the center of the butterfly in here. So basically I just, whoa, okay, see another piece. Sometimes when you turn it over, you can see more detail. So the idea is to lay a bead of glue along this area and leave the wings up so that you can kind of fluff them up like that. We're gonna grab you this holographic paper. So one of my hauls I got when I got this is I went and got 2 packs, and I actually got a larger pack. I think a larger pack of these 8x8 or 6x6. I'm not sure, but this is basically let me get this one. This is not open. This is a A2 size card. Yeah, A2. So 4¼ by 5½. So it'll make a good panel. Yeah, I'm really loving it. So that's the sheet that I used. And so, oh my God, when I think about the backgrounds of these things, oh, they're really gorgeous. And scrapbook.com has I think they do a live like every Thursday, or I don't know, every other Thursday. I don't remember. But I usually just watch for them when they do their bundles, and they have some really good deals. And I've been picking up stuff, and I've just been waiting because I'm trying to keep my supply budget, in the $20 range. So that kind of fits with what I got going on, and I can get like something of value every week or every other week for $20. And so that's what I've been looking at, and anything that catches my fancy. Okay. So I watched the presenter do this, so I'm going to attempt to do it. I put my own little spin on it. But when you lay it out, on your card base again. So this is my card panel or my card base. Um, the idea is to go ahead and I think what I'm going to do this time round to make that slightly different than the first card. I don't know if you can see, but I've got a real hard on for blank spaces. So I try to fill as much as possible with these flowers. So to go for a slightly different look for this card, because I don't want all the cards to be the same all the time, I think I'm going to leave a larger gap in between these. So what I would need to do is I'm going to glue them down and then cut them. But I think I'm going to leave a little bit of white space in between the 3 rows. So I have 3 rows of these. And there's a right side and a wrong side. And it almost, the presenter, when I was like, which intrigued me, when she's like, this almost looks like it's embossed. And I'm like, yeah. So that's kind of the look that I'm going to go for. Um, so I'm going to be gluing for a while. Just saying. So I've got my favorite craft glue out. I think that's the layout that I'm going to go for when I finally glue these down. Mm, looks okay. Let me see if this will help. Sorry, that light is distracting me off that table. Trying to get a filter for that light. I don't know. I'm just working on it. For right now, I have a sock over it, and I couldn't find my husband's t-shirt. So I was like, okay, what can I do? I haven't purchased a filter for the light, and I was saying DIY light filters or screens, and um one evening, and we're like, put a t-shirt over the light and it'll diffuse the light. I was like, okay, well, I don't couldn't find my t-shirt, my husband's white t-shirt. So I said, well, I got a sock and it's white, so let me use that. Hey, girl gotta do what a girl gotta do when she's on a budget. So that's what I did. So I'm just gonna be putting, and I'm being I'm putting the glue on like the petals. And I forgot I didn't need to go that far down with the glue, but it'll dry clear, so even if I'm cutting it off, it'll still dry clear. Um, and then I'm gonna go back and try to hit and because what I'm trying to avoid, that's why I'm putting little dots of glue, is it's all seeping out and making a one big mess. So I'm making sure that I hit the tops of the petals and some of the vines. Now, if you don't get them all, that's fine. You just want to get enough to where they won't lift up. And then even, once you put it down and you get it placed, you can always go back, and I'm going to drag that down just a little bit, but I don't want to get it too close to the fold, the center line of the card, because I want to still be able to fold the card unimpeded. And so I don't know if I went that far up with the glue, but I'm just going to kind of be very gentle. Sorry if I got a shadow in there. And make sure I hit those sides like that. And then of course when I finish gluing them all down, then I'll just take my scissors and snip. And then I'm just looking for petals that I either didn't put enough glue, or I didn't put any glue. Okay, so that's that one. Um, Actually, this is going a lot faster than the first time I made it. Obviously because I had to cut it out. So yeah, skip that petal. Okay, good, Brenda. You gotta pay attention. And I have another idea because oh, when I finish gluing this down, I'll bring back that die. I had another idea that I'm going to be making because I have all these butterflies. Like I said, I went butterfly happy the day I got it. I was like, let me cut some butterflies. Let me get what I might stash. And it's a good way, these butterflies, of using these dies like that. This is a good opportunity. Well, let me let my camera focus. It's had a hard time focusing. Oh yeah, there we go. To use up some of your scrap. You know, if you have like, I have a ton of scrap. Um, and I have them in those pouches. And so this was a way for me to use up a ton of scrap uh, paper that I have from other projects. Um, so it was, this is a perfect die for that. And when I'm thinking about, you know, I have, of course, I have my Cricut. I don't have to use the metal dies, but I don't want to be limited. You know, I want to be able to, you know, just craft and use. Um, I just want to have options when I craft. And sometimes I like the Cricut, and I can do a lot. And then sometimes I like the look of the metal. Oops, I'm sorry, I need to go up a little more of the metal dies. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this the opposite direction and see if I like that look. I mean, and it probably doesn't do a whole lot, but mentally speaking, I think I like that one. That looks. So, I mean, I'm just dropping glue everywhere. This card is going to come together really quick. The other like time saver that I had learned, I'm gonna turn it this way. Yeah, give me a different direction of these petals. Is okay, so I'm just gonna confess to you guys. I can't cut straight worth a damn. Sorry, YouTube. So I'm not the best at cutting straight, even with a paper trimmer or a guillotine trimmer. I try to do that, and I'm not very good at it. So it's not my wheelhouse. Some people are excellent at it. It's just not who I am. It's not. I try. So I usually take a day. Um, and I'll pull out white cardstock or some color cardstock, and I'll just use my Cricut, and I've got it set up in my design space, and I'll just cut out card bases. That's all I'll do. And that's all I'm doing. And then I should have moved that over a little bit, but I'm not going to complain. I think the butterflies will cover it up. No one will know but me. So I spend all day running through and cutting up A2 size 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 or 5 by 7s um, on my Cricut, and that's all that I'm doing. And then I have a stash, and I just put it away. And then when I'm doing stuff like this, then I have my card bases, and then I do the same thing with panels. Um, Sometimes I'd like to take my dies and cut the panels out because I have some nesting dies, and I can get some variation in the sizes of those panels. So, whoops, stuck to my tip. So now I've gotten these glued down. I'm going to take my scissors, and then I'm just going to cut. And so I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, well, okay, I'm going to turn it this way so that I can see. And then I'm just going to butt my scissors up against the top of the panel, the card, and then I'm just going to cut along that. So what I did with the first card is all of these bits that were left over, I just used them to fill in the blank spaces, like the white space, so I could have like full coverage. But I don't think I'm going to do that this time because I'm going to leave that a little more open in between those spaces. And in nature, nothing is uniform, so I keep reminding myself of that. So if it's not all straight and things like that, it's okay. It's okay not to be straight. It's okay not to be have uniformity. If that's sometimes you can't always achieve that. All right, so in that darling, and it does look like it's embossed. It's got a lot of texture. It's white on white. Um, and so, okay, wait a minute. Okay, okay, I was just making sure my penny monster. I have a Chihuahua. Didn't sneak in here while I was filming. She has very quiet. So if I'm really busy, I barely know that she's in the room because she's really, I've got a doggy bed for her and she's just happy and content. She's really a good dog. Okay. So that's that. I'm gonna move it up here. I'm gonna get that light fixed one day. I'm just gonna move that off my Crest surface and I forgot to clean this off. Oh well. Okay. Let me check. I'm looking at that one right there. Let me check on that. Okay. Oh, don't mean to have that on the inside. Let me just see if I can trim that off a little better. I'm just looking for pieces. Now I'm hunting for stuff that's lifting. And you know what? I'm not going to try to bother gluing that down. I'm just going to take that stem off. And anything that's just lifting up, I'm just going to cut it off. I still think this is smart. If my mom's watching, my mom will probably get this card for her birthday. Or I have another card in mind for her as well. But you will never know, Mom, because making one for you. Okay. All right. So I said I was going to come back and bring this one. So I have an idea of using this die. I haven't used this one yet because those look like roses. But this reminds, so for whatever, every time I look at this, I think of Power Flower. Flower Power. Sorry. Power. Flower Power. Reminds me of the 70s. Like, I don't know why I'm thinking Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine. Just what I'm thinking. I'm a Scooby-Doo fan. Okay. Now, the next step is to go ahead and make sure I pick out 3 of the butterflies. And make sure that they're different colors. Like, and that they're not the same. Okay, there we go. So these I had off to the side. I think I'm gonna do, okay, yeah, so it's going, so a darker light to lightest. So that's how I'm gonna arrange those. I'm not sure. So what I think I'm gonna do next is, yeah, put my happy birthday in first. And so this is gonna be up a little, so I'm gonna use some pop dots. And also what I'm thinking of is making sure that none of these overextend the card panel so that it'll get into an envelope easy. So I think I'm gonna lay that one this way, and so now I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this one. And then just make that, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if I want to stick it here and maybe have that one come here, but I kind of sort of, I don't know. How do I do the last one? Oh, okay. So yeah, I had that one here. I had that one going here. And so let me show you what I'm looking at. I'm referencing. So see how that one's going in the corner. That one's next to it. And this one's pop dotted. This one's not. And that one's not. And then this is up with pop dot. So I have this. This is a Dollar Tree pop dot, and it's actually higher. So what I think I could do, and I actually have some foam tape from scrapbook.com. That's a little the dimension on this is not as high as this. So let me just show you what I'm thinking of. So can you see? So this is going to be used for the happy birthday because it's going to pop that up higher than the butterfly. So I'm going to get like some dimension going on. All right, so, and then I actually use it, and I might have to just go ahead and have these touching like that, and I have to move that in because again, I've got to be mindful of the crease or the fold of the card. But I actually, okay, well maybe, okay. Now I'm feeling it. Just that slight change in the direction of that butterfly. And they're all, I think so too. I'm looking, making sure. Okay, that's the same one. Yeah, so that's why I didn't like it. So here, let's choose this. Let's do this again. So we'll have this guy go here. That's why it wasn't really working for me. Actually, okay, yeah. Oh my God, don't overthink it, Brenda. Really? This is how you're going to overthink it? Don't overthink it. Don't really overthink it, kiddo. Okay, so let me just move that in here. I'm just going to move that up ever so slightly. All right, I'm going to stop playing with it, y'all. I'm just going to lay it down. Now it's driving me nuts. No one's going to say, you didn't put the butterfly in the right spot. Shame on you. No one's going to say that. So just don't overthink it. See, that's the thing with this. Sometimes I just try not to overthink it, and then sometimes I do too much thinking, and it's one of those times when I was doing too much thinking. So I'm going to lay this down like so. And I'm just going to try to put as many of these stupid squares on here as possible. And what your intentions are to not have to not have any sagging in this. So when you press on it, it doesn't sag in on itself or pretty much collapse on itself. And then the other idea when you're laying out your pop dots or your zots or whatever you have, your foam squares, is to kind of make sure they're not being seen. So yeah, that's a spot. And what I like to do to give me a little bit of, yeah, there we go. So what you would want to do is test it. And I think I'm struggling because I want to make sure I get the happy birthday in the right spot, because once I get the happy birthday laid down, then that'll just help me position the butterflies. And I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm kind of like using this line as a reference, just so you know, on the mat. Okay. So I'm going to take this glue and I'm going to turn this over. And I usually use something to pick them up. Let's see if this is thin enough. And then I'm going to put some glue on this, on the other side of this once I get these backers off. And the reason you're going to put glue on the back of this is you don't want to apply a lot of pressure until you're satisfied when you're placing it and getting it positioned. So if you put glue on your foam squares or pop dots or whatever, you have just a little bit of grace to reposition things if one side, is up, one side of the item is like crooked or something. And trust me, I need all the grace I can get. Okay, there's my camera. I wasn't paying attention to the time. Yeah, I forgot what I was supposed to do something to get around to 30 minutes of the timing. Yeah, you get 30 minutes with this camera. One of the drawbacks of this camera that I have. But okay, I just saw I was at 30 minutes. So, and it probably cuts off. I forgot what to do. I Facebooked it and I YouTubed it and I forgot to do it. I need to start using my phone list of reminders. Okay, so that's the idea. Just put a little drop of glue and that'll give you some an opportunity to reposition it if you don't like it without it really sticking. And this is sharp, so let me do that. And I think I'm gonna just make it up a little, move it up a little bit higher. Okay, and then now I can press down because I'm okay with that. Yeah, that looks good. So now I can go, maybe I may change the direction of the butterflies, and I don't know, but I still think I'm still stuck on this. Okay, so yeah, I want to go that way, I want to go this way, I want to go that way. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm happy. Let me move that up a little bit. They're not so much touching. And then I can move. Okay, well. Let's see. Try to move it over here. Try to move it over here. Alright, because yeah, I just don't want that. Maybe I'm gonna pop dot that up. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do with that one. And I think what I'm gonna end up doing, let's see if this will work. Let me turn this one over. And I'm gonna put one here, and I'm gonna lay it down in the center. And then this is a trick that I learned, like watching a ton of videos, to get it up to go a little bit higher. I'm afraid if I make it too high, it may not get in the envelope. You know? But okay, that's it pretty good. Like, that's going to go right in the curve. Okay. Liking it. Loving it. There we go. That's how I'm going to roll with it. Alright, so I'm going to take that off. I wasn't intending to do this one as the pop dotty one, but that's okay. That works. Sometimes you got to change your plans. So yeah, I'm just releasing the paper off to the side. So, and then again, I'm gonna just be on the safe side and drop some glue. Gives me grace. Grace is good. I guess I really should have gotten my things out. So yeah, I'm just making sure that I don't go over this plane. And I'm pushing down. So that's going to be really pretty. You missed some of the swirl effect, but oh well. Now this one, I'm just going to use, this one I'm not going to pop dot. So I'm just going to put some glue right along here. And I'll lay that one here. And it's good to go. Oh, you're hanging out here. Oh, little Chad. Oh my God. I'm gonna go show my age if I call that a hanging Chad. I think it was, oh my God, what was that? Election 2020? I don't remember. Al Gore in Florida with the hanging chads. Can't remember what election that was. Okay, so I went over the head. Okay, so I went a little bit too far with the foam, so I'm just gonna take a little bit off the back of that. You know, I could actually run another line. Well, let me see if one's going to be sufficient. So see how you've got flat on the same plane and then a little bit lower than this. So high, this is higher than this and lower than this. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have that kiss. Yep, there we go. Kiss that. Just bump it up against the other one. All right, so we're going to lay down that glue on this. And I am going to, yeah, there we go. And then that's my card. Oh my God, that was such a fun card. And then I can close everything and then they can fit. And that is so, it's so delicate. Usually when I'm making a card, I have a person in mind. My mom likes butterflies and she likes dragonflies. So, but I don't have purple on here, and her favorite color is purple, but I think she'll be okay with that. And isn't that great? And with the foiling and the hot foil on that, oh, it's beautiful. And I'm not, the inside is blank. If you like what you've seen today, why don't you go ahead and subscribe, leave me a comment, share. I'm doing different projects. Maybe I want to show you how to do the die cutting. I'm just not in a position where I can do that. Maybe next year I've got some goals in mind, where I can get some additional cameras, where I can set it up on the other side of my craft room. And I'm working on that, so then you'll get a chance to see me cut some things out or use one of my Cricut or whatever the case may be. But I'm working on it slowly but surely. But again, I appreciate your support. Please like, subscribe, and send me a comment. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.